Hello YouTube, my name is Nero, and today we have some Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, and I would like to welcome you all to the somewhat new map here in Modern Warfare Remastered. Now, of course, this is just Downpour, but it's a bright, beautiful, and Irish version of Downpour. For example, we have the tractor here. It is now green, and instead of being a John Deere, it's a Jim Beer. Ladies and gentlemen, this is definitely an Irish-themed map, so welcome to Downpour, or at least the new version of Downpour, Daybreak. We, of course, have these radios with some nice, festive, Irish-themed music, and one of the big things about this map that is really going to make the map feel a little bit different is the fact that there is so much foliage now on this map. It is absolutely insane. Now, I know that YouTube is actually very bad about this, Twitch as well. There is something about video games that have a lot of foliage that is just very difficult for them to actually encode in their video. For one reason or another, you'll notice, like in older Call of Duty videos, like if anyone is playing, for example, on the map Jungle back in the original Black Ops, or if they're playing on, say, Prison Break in Call of Duty Ghosts, like for some reason, those videos are extra pixelated. They just don't look nearly as good. It's because, for some reason, YouTube just cannot keep up with the bitrate. They have such a low bitrate with their videos that they have trouble actually encoding all the foliage. So I'm definitely wondering how this particular video is going to turn out. But I decided to play here in old school mode a little bit, because in old school mode, if you guys don't know, you can do fun and interesting glitches when, of course, you don't mess them up like I just did right there, where you can run and jump onto this corner and get on top of this rooftop here. And the reason why I wanted to do this is because I want to explore the entirety of this map, and to do so, you need to be playing in old school mode, at least in my opinion. So here on top of the roof, we've got the flag. Off in the distance, we have a castle. Right over there, we have a castle. It is definitely a very Irish-themed map with lots of foliage and lots of moss, lots of greens, and it's bright and beautiful. We've talked about this a number of times here on my YouTube channel, but I think it would be very cool if they were to do these map events, or map kits, if you will, where they were to reimagine a lot of the maps, and it appears that's actually what they're going to be doing, because with the first holiday event, we got Winter Crash. Here with the second event, we now have Daybreak, so they've reimagined two maps, essentially. This is, of course, the first original reimagine. Of course, the first one was Winter Crash back in Call of Duty 4, so it wasn't completely original when they redid it here in Modern Warfare Remastered, but I still think it's really cool that they're taking all the time to do this. And of course, we have Graves Beer, which, of course, Graves is the guy that runs the depot, who is well known as the Irish guy. So that is actually pretty cool, if you ask me. And they actually have a reflection here in this balloon. That's something they don't typically do in video games. You guys will notice, like, any sort of a mirror, they typically don't actually have the reflection. And instead of a barrel, they put a keg here. They put a keg here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, wait, it says company. What company is making it? Something Brewing Company. Something Brewing Company. It just says Brewing Company. It's not going to say what the name of the brewing company is. That's a shame. That's a real shame. Actually, my family, bit of a Nero fact here. My family, we actually steam corn on an empty keg. So what they did is they took an old keg and they turned it into a corn steamer, basically, and they take it to every single family event, and they steam their corn in there. It's actually pretty cool. So what do we have over here? Shamrock Troops, and we have the original St. Patrick's Day beer. So it's going to be Geo Original Irish Distillery. Okay, I'm not sure if that's a reference to anything. I don't personally get the reference, but it may be a reference to something. I'm not entirely sure. This map is freaking awesome. I can't wait to actually hop into the multiplayer itself and play. They put a beer bottle here next to the window. That's freaking cool. Let's actually run through this building. I actually haven't done that yet. The goal of this video is to basically sit down, have a chat with you guys, and explore the entirety of the map. Now, I will say it would have been cool. They probably didn't think this far ahead, but it would have been cool if they were to actually make it so when you play old school mode on this map, they would make it so all the weapons you can pick up have one of the Irish camos you can actually unlock. Either one of the two you get via challenges by playing on this map, or simply the really cool Irish themed camo you can only get via supply drops. That would be pretty interesting. So what's on the TV over here? Okay, it took a second for it to load. Wow, St. Patrick's Channel TV. That's it, huh? This is where the music's coming from. If I blow up the TV, apparently you can't blow up the TV. They don't make them like they used to, ladies and gentlemen. That is a very, very strong television right there. But I do like how on the holiday-themed maps, they add holiday music to the maps. Just, it adds to the ambiance. It adds to the atmosphere. I'm a big fan of that. Let's run down here. Some more barrels with the occasional one being replaced by a keg. I am a big fan of that. This is where, of course, the A flag is in domination. What do we have in here? Really not so much except for the foliage, but there's lots of foliage in here anyway. I hate trying to defend this flag in domination because they lay down right behind this, so they lay down like over here in the grass, and it's just hard to see them, so you kind of have to like take a guess as to where they're at, and if you don't have a grenade, it can definitely be pretty difficult to actually take them out. Now, of course, I started out here back inside of the barn. The barn has a bunch of lights all strung up. Let's go upstairs here to make sure we're not missing anything. There is an RPG here, some more beer. They've got a glass right here. I'm a big fan of when they do this. Now, some ideas of maps that some of you guys actually gave me a long time ago. Like, some people say St. Valentine's Day Backlot, right? Because Backlot is just one of their favorite maps. I'm not sure how they would do that, to be honest, but it would be cool if they would do something like that. But of course, Valentine's Day is well behind us at this point, so they would have to go ahead and make this a multi-year Call of Duty game to be able to do that. A big one, of course, would be Halloween Overgrown, which is something they actually teased to us way back in Call of Duty 4 with a teaser trailer, which was part of a web series they put up on YouTube. And I can go ahead and I'll show you guys that clip right here in this video. So it wasn't anything fancy, right? It was just a web clip, basically, that Infinity Ward made that was made to basically hype people up leading up until the release of Call of Duty 4. It wasn't anything really that fancy, but a Halloween Overgrown ever since has kind of been something that people have always kind of hoped for. They put a balloon all the way up there, and you can blow up the balloons. That's pretty cool. Or they just knock it down. Yeah, I'm fairly positive it actually blew up. I'm a big fan. Oh, wait. Is this the balloon? I think it's another balloon. Yep, you can definitely pop the balloons. That's pretty freaking cool. It'd be neat if the balloons made a big popping noise and like you could actually use that to your advantage while actually playing the game. I wonder how many other Easter eggs there are actually here in this map. Because I feel as though we've explored a lot of what the map actually has to offer. Look at the flowers, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the flowers. I am a big fan of the flowers. I wonder if I were to go into spectator mode, if there's actually going to be anything else really to see here. Oh my gosh, they put beer bottles absolutely everywhere. I love the fact that they took the time and the attention to detail. I mean, even if it's something as small as just taking a beer bottle and putting it somewhere, I'm glad they took the time to go ahead and do that, you know? Oh, we actually have this in here. It's a little bit brighter in here as compared to normal. I like this. I'm a big fan of seeing what this map actually looks like. I'm telling you guys, atmosphere really does mean a lot for me. Like, if it's a bad map like this, and I do personally consider Downpour to be one of the worst maps in this game, if it's a bad map, it's interesting how they can take a map like this and make it more fun. There is a pot of gold. There is a pot of gold here on top of the roof. That's freaking cool. I'll need to go into spectator mode to be able to zoom in on that, because there's a barrier actually right there. I of course failed to jump, but there's a barrier right there that'll make it so you can't actually just run and jump over there. So we're gonna have to check this out in spectator mode for sure, just to be able to try and show you guys all the Easter eggs. That's kind of what I'm doing right now, is just Easter egg hunting. I like the stone right there, all the stones in here around the B flag. That's pretty freaking cool if you ask me. And of course, they painted up these things right here. But yeah, going back to it, it's the attention to detail. You know, and I really do enjoy the fact that they didn't just make it, you know, they didn't just make it daytime and call it an Irish map. Oh, no, they revamped pretty much everything about the map itself, which is really cool. And actually, something that they could have done, this would be an insane amount of attention to detail. Now watch as I inevitably fail this jump on my first try. I got it right the first try. Oh, okay. So they did change that. I think in the original map, right, the original Downpour, there is actually, I think it was just a picture hanging there. And I thought it was a bit of a shame they didn't put like more Easter eggs actually inside there. The reason why they have something there is if you're down here on the ground, you can look up and actually see through the window, right? It's just something you can do. And so they add stuff there to make the map feel more complete, but they didn't add anything in there because you can't really see inside this window from anywhere else on the map itself. And you can actually see a lot better. Why didn't they think to break the window in the first place? So I think it's cool they actually changed it up and put that thing in there. It's the little attention to detail, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, that really does make all of the difference. Now, I wonder if they were to actually change up anything about that window right there. I don't know what they would actually put in there, if anything. I don't think there is anything. I think it's actually a glitch that I was able to see anything there in the first place, because look, Oh, nope, you can't see it anymore. Remember how you could actually like see through the wall right there? I think that's just a glitch with the actual area itself. So I'm trying to think really quickly if there's any other building I'm yet to explore here on this map before we go into spectator mode. I don't think there is. There's a balloon here in the A flag. Lots of balloons. I didn't actually realize my first time running through. Let's run through back here really quickly just to give you guys a shot of everything. All right, anything back here? I bet you there's going to be something back there. If I were them, I would have put something back there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to switch this over to spectator mode, and I'll catch you guys on the other side. All right, so here we are in spectator mode. Now, what I've actually done for you guys is kind of off camera, if you will. I ran through, and I was trying to find a lot of Easter eggs here on this map, the best I could, so I can show you all of them in spectator mode very quickly here at the end of the video. What I ended up finding was 3 pots of gold and 1 pot of beer, as well as a bunch of little tiny leprechaun, basically little bobblehead mannequins almost in a way. So allow me to go ahead and show you guys what I'm talking about. So one of them is actually going to be inside of this building right here. Now, you can barely see him. I can zoom in on the video for you guys. There he is, our little leprechaun friend. We actually find him a couple of places on the entirety of this map, along with 3 or 4, depending on how you look at it, pots of gold. So, of course, we know about the pot of gold over here on top of the rooftop. Did you know, though, or maybe see it while I was doing my walkthrough, apparently I can't get over this thing, that there is a pot of beer here inside of, what do you even call this place? I always call it the middle building. I'm very bad with call-outs. But yeah, we have a pot of beer, essentially, here. Keep in mind, it is Graves beer, which, of course, is a reference to the guy that runs the depot. Here on top of the rooftop here, next to these kegs, is actually going to be a pot of gold. Now, I understand it's kind of hard to read what it says with the way that the light is reflecting off the gold, but essentially what it says is St. Patrick's Day 2017, which I personally think is a very nice touch. Another pot of gold can actually be found behind this building right here in the very back portion of the map. Now, there may actually be more pots out there. These are just the ones I personally found, but here is another pot of gold with another one of our leprechaun friends here who's holding one of the gold coins, as well as has a little tiny pot of gold, of course, in his hands. So those are 2 of the pot of golds, as well as 1 pot of beer. And on the complete opposite end of the map, and also something I'm going to show you here on the way, remember this room, which is definitely glitched out, like they don't really intend for you to be able to like look inside of here? Go inside. They actually changed, hold on here, there we go. They changed the wallpaper in here to actually make it 4-leaf clovers, which I personally think is a very nice touch. They did that just in case there is somebody down here who breaks this window and looks up. Like from down here, I can barely even tell those are supposed to be 4-leaf clovers, but it's the little attention to detail, which just wins everybody over in my opinion. I personally love that. And all the way over here in the chicken coop is where you're actually going to go ahead and find another pot of gold. Hey, you can actually just go in. I didn't know if you could actually go in. I found it while standing outside of it, of course. Yeah, you can go in here to the chicken coop. There is going to be another pot of gold. This one does not look nearly as nice. Have the chickens been messing with it? It looks kind of gross, honestly. And, of course, we have another one of our leprechaun friends right here. So I assume there are going to be more. Can I squeeze through here? Probably not. I assume there are